Hello everyone, I'm Esther Kane with SeniorSafetyAdvice.com. Welcome to today's podcast. Today I wanted to talk about the benefits of yoga and Tai Chi for older adults. Now, I know you're probably thinking yoga is a lot of stretching, contorting yourself into a pretzel and, weird music and meditation and all of that. And yeah, there are some yoga classes that are like that, but the reality is that for a lot of older adults, yoga is so extremely beneficial because it's basically stretching. It's getting those muscles stretched, and let's face it, as we all get older, most of us, I know I do, become more sedentary. It's just so easy to plop down on the sofa and, binge watch shows and 3, 4 hours later and you haven't moved a thing. So it's so important to stretch, to, move those joints, not necessarily in a cardiac way, although there are yoga stretches that can definitely benefit your heart. And then Tai Chi as well. I myself have never tried Tai Chi, but when it comes to training your body for better balance, I don't know that there's anything better than Tai Chi. So today I wanted to talk about the benefits of these two things and to try to encourage you to, one, not be afraid of them, and no, you don't have to run out to a class if it's difficult to get to one or there just isn't one nearby. There are a gazillion YouTube videos on YouTube for yoga, beginning yoga, chair yoga. You can start off that way, and I just recommend that you do it at least 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes a day. Start off with 5, just very simple yoga stretches. I have 2 friends who do yoga every single day, and they swear up and down. I myself am not so good about it every day, but I do yoga 3, 4 times a week, and I do have to say it has helped my lower back pain a lot. I don't get as many tingly sensations in my legs like I used to. My shoulders feel better. My neck feels better. So yeah, yoga is definitely very, very important. As an OT, I used to tell my patients all the time, if Medicare would just pay for yoga and massages every day, people would be so much healthier for so much longer. All right, so why do I recommend yoga and Tai Chi? Why would any health professional recommend yoga and Tai Chi? For older adults, because falling is one of the biggest fears and issues for older adults. Falls are actually the leading cause of injury in adults 65 plus. And I know working in head injury, geriatric head injury, I can tell you that the great majority of patients that I saw in that venue were because of an accident when they fell. And for many of them, their lives were changed forever. So roughly 1 in 4 adults reports a fall every year. Not that every fall is so devastating, but once you fall, it's just an indication that there's more to come. So you want to build your balance, you want to build your strength to try to prevent falling for whatever reason. Balance and strength, of course, work like yoga and Tai Chi, and that's what these two exercises actually promote. And they've been proven over and over and over again, because not only are they low risk, you're not weightlifting, although weightlifting is a great exercise, but you're not weightlifting, so you're not possibly injuring a muscle. If you do any weightlifting, do it with a trainer. It is a great exercise. But if you want to do something at home, start off with chair yoga, start off with simple Tai Chi. I think you'll really benefit from it after a while. All right. So what are they? What exactly is yoga? It's not necessarily the contorted puzzle, standing on your head, all of that. It's really just gentle postures it's breathing, it's relaxation. The goal is to improve flexibility, to improve strength. And of course, because of the meditation part and the breathing part, it does help to improve calm. It can be done on the floor. It can be done on a chair. It can be done on a mat, if it's easier for you on a cushioned mat. Tai Chi itself is very slow, following specific sequence of movements. And the purpose of Tai Chi really for an older adult, in my opinion and in my training, is strength, leg strength, balance, posture, and really focusing on the movements that you're doing. It's really all about being in the moment at that time. Many people describe it as a meditation in motion, and it's true. It is meditation in motion. And if I live near a senior center, and I know that they offer Tai Chi there. I should go if I can find time in between all these podcasts and newsletters and websites. But Tai Chi is an excellent, if you have a senior center near you that offers that, I encourage you to take it. It's, you just wear nice, loose clothing, relaxed and easy. They can tell you what the best kinds of shoes to wear for whatever flooring it is that they have. But even if you can't get somewhere, again, there are so many YouTube videos that you can check out. And if you do have balance problems, I recommend that you do Tai Chi or any exercise actually near something that you can hold on to that will not tip over. Don't stand next to a bookshelf that if you have to grab it, if you lose your balance, that bookshelf is going to fall over, unless of course it's bolted to the wall. So be careful about that. In fact, I would recommend to call your doctor and get a referral for a physical therapist or yoga instructor or whatever to come in and help you to initiate the exercise and to set up the environment of where you're going to do it. I think that's really the best and safest way to do it, unless you go somewhere. All right. So what does the research say? Why is it such a good idea? Is it just coming from me? No. Multiple high-quality reviews, lots of them, show that Tai Chi reduces falls and improves balance in older adults that are living in a community. The study was done. It's in the National Library of Medicine, and it was done with these adults in a community, like an assisted living type of facility, because that's a great place to get a lot of adults all in one place. Okay, so again, according to the Journal of American Medicine, arthritis and joint pain is addressed and somewhat treated. I'm not going to say it's cured, but it's somewhat treated. It helps. If you have arthritis and joint pain, Tai Chi, some yoga can help to improve the pain, because what does your osteopathic doctor, say, your rheumatologist? Movement is good if you have arthritic pain. That's why oftentimes when you wake up in the morning, that's your worst arthritic pain, because you've been stiff all night. So think about the fact that in this year, in 2025, randomized trial found that yoga improved knee pain from osteoarthritis about as much as traditional strength program. And it's a 12-week program, so don't expect to do one yoga stretch or one Tai Chi, session and then expect to feel better. No, it's going to take several months, but it will work. It really should work. I can't say it will work because everybody's different, but it really should work. And the majority of people, it definitely does work. Again, in the National Library of Medicine, a 2025 meta-analysis suggested that yoga can lower blood pressure for people with pre-hypertension or hypertension, especially when it includes breathing and meditation, not just, poses, because that breathing and meditation is what helps, I guess, clinically, scientifically, I don't know, I'm not a doctor, but I guess that's what helps to calm the body down, which, as we all know, stress can definitely increase hypertension. Now, if you have hypotension, that's a different story. I myself have hypotension. It's very difficult for me to get my blood pressure up. And that can be just as bad as hypertension. So I have to be careful with the breathing and meditation to not take it too far, because I can easily, get very nauseous and feel very dizzy. So for me, I have to regulate that. Again, speak with your doctor, speak with a trained physical therapist who has yoga experience. There are some out there, and they can definitely help you through the process of what works for you and what doesn't. There's new work from the National Institute on Aging as of 2025. They link Tai Chi, especially enhanced formats of Tai Chi, to better cognition in older adults who are having memory concerns. I forgot a scheduled meeting this morning, so I think I'm starting to have memory concerns, cognition concerns. Either that or I'm just so overloaded with work, I don't know. But I think that I need to start working on building that up to make my life a little easier. Many people in that study from the National Institute of Aging report that lower stress and better sleep help cognition. I think that makes sense. I don't think there's anything illogical about that. I think that's pretty much common sense. And since Tai Chi focuses on making you, well, the idea is to make you present in the moment. So you're present in the moment, concentrating on the movements that you're making, moving it slow and breathing through each movement. So because you're focused in that moment, you're forcing your brain to, the cells in your brain, the neurons in your brain to stay the course, to not be overwhelmed by so many things. So it is meditation and movement. It truly is. And it's definitely worth doing, and do it with your family. I think that would be a great activity. As far as the CDC, this year, as of this year, they state that global and U.S. guidelines still recommend anywhere between 150 and 300 minutes a week of moderate activity. And this includes balance, especially for older adults. It includes balance training and muscle strengthening. And yoga and Tai Chi provide both. If you've done any yoga at all in your life, you know that it requires some muscle strengthening. There's no doubt about it. Being able to hold a pose for a length of time requires some muscle. Being able to just stand on one leg for a length of time requires muscle and balance and focus and so much more. So I think that these recent studies only back up what's already been studied for so many decades, that yoga and Tai Chi are two of the most beneficial exercises that older adults can do. I think walking is extremely important as well. But yoga and Tai Chi are two things that you can do in your own home. You can do it at any time, and it doesn't take any special equipment or clothing or anything. You can do 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the afternoon, 5 minutes at night. And the more you do it, the more familiar you become with the movements and the poses, where it's going to get to a point where you're not going to require an instructor, a yoga instructor, a video or anything to help you, as long as you continue to do the movements correctly. That's the important part. And that's why you want to start with somebody training you to do it. So there's some things that you should be aware of, because every exercise requires some form of caution. One, if you have osteoporosis or have had spinal fractures in the past, then you want to avoid forward bending and fast twisting. I don't know of any yoga. I've done yoga for many years, and I don't know of any yoga that is fast twisting. I myself have low back pain. And it's muscular, I believe. It's not structural, although I do have a bit of a curved spine, which I think most people actually do, honestly. But you want to keep a long spine. You want to hinge. If you're going to go forward, you want to go forward on your hips and not with your back. Use a chair to help you do that. Again, having an instructor there, having someone there to spot you, to show you how to actually move is really a great thing if you're having trouble, because doing it the wrong way can cause more injury, just like any exercise. Doing it the wrong way can cause more injury, which then stops you from continue doing it, which really you should be doing it. I hope that makes sense. All right. What if you have glaucoma or high eye pressure? Well, you want to skip anything where the head is below the heart. You don't want to put your head down on the ground and have your hips up. They call that the downward dog. You've probably seen it where they're down, their tuchus, their butt is up in the air, but the head is down on the ground. You want to do anything in that position. Instead, choose upright or chair-based variations. That's why I really, really like chair yoga for older adults. What if you have high blood pressure or cardiac issues? You want to avoid a lot of breath holding. You want to favor instead gentle breathing, slow transitions. Again, think of Tai Chi and seat or standing postures. What if you have knee or hip arthritis? Then you want to do short stances. You want to do pain-free range only. Tai Chi is excellent for this, more than yoga. And what if you have vertigo, dizziness, neuropathy? Then you want to use a chair or countertop for support. Shoes that have a non-slip sole, which you should use anyway all the time. And you always want to have something nearby to support you as long as it doesn't tip over. I recommend that. So I'm not so crazy about a chair unless it's a very big sofa chair kind of thing that would be very difficult to tip over. Again, always check with a healthcare provider, see if you can get a recommendation. If you belong, you can join Silver Sneakers, and then they have free memberships to gyms, and you can start off that way, getting some professional training, for your posturing. Once, like I said, once you've done it for a while, you won't need that as much anymore. There are so many wonderful exercises that you can do, everything from, belly breathing, shoulder rolls for your neck, any types of, for your ankles, for your elbows, for every single part of your body can be stretched and can be made more flexible and pain-free simply from yoga and or Tai Chi. If you want to start off with something more simple, more basic, then I would go with Tai Chi. That's an easy way to do it. I am not familiar if there is a chair Tai Chi. There might be, and you can look up some YouTube videos on that. Think of an initial program where you're going to do 5 minutes a day. Start off with 5 minutes. You can even do it while the TV is, you don't want to do it while the TV is on because you want to be watching a YouTube video. So if you can watch a YouTube video on your TV, that would be amazing. And you can watch it there. Just, sit down on a chair and just do 5 minutes. Start off with that. Do 1 week of 5 minutes a day, and then slowly progress that to 10 minutes a day, and then 15 minutes a day, all the way, bring it up to 20 minutes a day. Even if you want to do 2 weeks of each session, that's fine. Do that. Anything that you can be consistent with and continue going all the way up to 20 minutes a day. And if you have to break it up, 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes in the evening, that's fine too. It doesn't have to be all at once. Again, look for classes around you. Gyms have it, senior centers. If you belong to a 55 plus community, there's almost always a yoga class or Tai Chi class there. If not, contact someone and see if they would come and offer a class in your community center there, and see how many people in your community would join that class. It's definitely worth every minute, especially if it's just down the street and you can get to it quickly. Be careful, listen to your own body. If you get chest pain, if you feel dizzy, if you feel numbness, if you have discomfort of any kind, stop. Don't continue. Contact your doctor, and tell him what's going on, or her what's going on, and see how you can progress. Maybe you need some other specialist to help you through that process. Any exercise is always difficult to do to start off with, even walking. I have a friend who can't even walk 30 feet without complaining of some kind of pain. But a lot of it also is because she has been so sedentary for so very long, and has gotten to the point where she's so overweight that her poor body is just carrying all this weight. So it took her a year to go from walking 30 feet to walking, a city block, but she's doing it, and it's bits and pieces. And is she complaining about the pain now? No. Has she had any surgery? No. Is she taking any new medications? No. It's just getting past that initial, okay, this hurts now, I'm going to stop, but I'm going to do it again tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day. And each time, even though it took her a long time and she's still working on it, she can now do, quite a while. Her initial plan is to get to a mile, and I know she will. I know she will. I walk with her, and I know that she will. It's just a matter of time and taking it easy and listening to your body. All right. So I hope that you can start the yoga and Tai Chi exercises. There, as an occupational therapist working in geriatrics, I can tell you these are two of the very best types of exercises that any older adult can do. Really anybody, but if you're an older adult especially. All right, don't forget to subscribe, and whether you're watching this on YouTube or whether you're listening to this on LinkedIn, on LinkedIn, listen to me on my podcast. Maybe I will put it on LinkedIn, but however you're listening to it, please consider writing it down, take some action, contact your doctor, get some professionals to get you started. Check out YouTube videos on this topic. There's so many of them, and it's just a wonderful way to stay as independent as possible for as long as possible. All right, you guys take care, and I will see you next time.